Hi, and welcome to Team Wildcats. This is a quick overview of our parent orientation. So we know in 7th grade that everybody looks a little bit different, and we know that sometimes they're going to stumble and fall. We know that those hormones kind of make them do weird things that they sometimes want to cover up, so sometimes they lie. Their biggest fear is you talking with us. And so part of what we want to showcase here is A, how different everybody can be and that that's super okay. But B, we hope to open a line of communication with you so that you know it's always okay to come talk to us, and we are always going to try and keep your student in the loop. We know that they will do anything to keep their phone. It's always really good to just keep in our back pockets as something to help leverage to get what we need out of our students. And then they're still children, but won't be much longer, and they know very little about life. The other thing that we like to show is what the difference usually looks like maturity between our males and our females. And this picture just kind of showcases and highlights those differences. Again, all we want to communicate out of this is that we love and appreciate your student for exactly who they are, and we're going to help you and them through whatever it is that we need to get through. The main thing that you need to know is that we have a team website, which is where everything is going to go through for us. You can get there via Lakeview's website, or you can just go straight to lakeviewwildcats.com. Please, please, please bookmark this. It is mobile friendly. When you open it up, what you're going to see is important announcements, including our t-shirt order form, which those are due by August 30th. You can just click right here and order. Please make sure to read everything that we've got going on here in terms of how to do that. So we've got any announcements that you might need. But here is the biggest tab that you want to be focused on, which is class info and homework. We have 2 calendars, both of which you can follow on your own Google Calendar. All you have to do is click this plus Google Calendar, and you'd be able to follow them both. On the left, we have our Team Wildcats homework calendar. And so each class is listed every day. If you scroll up, you can get historical information, but when you click on a class, what's going to happen is that it's going to tell you what happened in class and anything that was homework. It also showed right here, just as you were looking at the snapshot, that ELA writing might have been the only class that night with homework if students had that class. So this is a great way for you to be able to keep up with things that are going on and have really intentional conversations with your students. So instead of, how was your day today? Or what did you do today? You can say, I saw in writing that you were working on the value of writing well. Can you tell me what that is? What is a found poem? So hopefully that is helpful for you, and you feel like you can stay in the loop. The other thing we have is our Lakeview Wildcats calendar. On this calendar, we've got things like if there's life ed, if there's no work time that day, we've got parent orientation. You can see there's NWEA testing, and our t-shirt order forms are going to be due. We're going to try and keep you up to date with as much as we possibly can. There's also a Meet the Team tab. On that tab, you can learn a little bit more about each of the Wildcat teachers and have direct contact with them. For homework, you can pretty much expect it every night from almost every subject, especially math. And when we say every night, we mean for this particular subjects that they had that day, whether it be a purple or a silver day. Not all of it will be graded. We do expect it to be turned in on time with top quality work. It's really important to know that our grading system here is divided into an 80% and a 20%. 80% is for tests, quizzes, homework, projects, things like that. The 20% is like practice, preparation. That's really your homework grade, which is where that's going to come from. We can also grade in-class work that we do, but that 20% is mandated to be only out of 3 points. 1 point comes entirely from it being turned in on time. One is for that it's completed, and one that it's top quality work. So it's important to know that if a student gets a 2 out of 3, which might show up in Infinite Campus as a D, 66%, that does not reflect that they have a D's worth of knowledge about that particular topic. It does reflect that they have a D's worth of ability to maybe turn things in on time, complete it, or to do their very best work. And that's a really good talking point for us. Infinite Campus is a great tool. Our recommendation is that you set your notifications to only send information to you about once a week. Otherwise, it can get a little bit difficult to manage. Your teachers promise that we are going to update the gradebook every 1 to 2 weeks. If you are absent, it's really important that you follow that homework calendar that we just showcased. The office is open from 7 to 4 p.m. if you need anything at all. Typically, if students are gone, there is not paper that you will need to pick up in the office, and typically we work really hard with students once they return to make sure that they get caught up. Doors are around 5 p.m. So if you ever need anything in the building, you can always bring your student back up to get anything out of their locker. We really can't get absent work to the office by the end of the day due to our plan times and how our block scheduling works. So really email is the best way to communicate with us, and we're all really good about that. If your student is planning a long absence, to be honest, it's best to make up that work when they return. If you request the work in advance, we will do the best that we can. However, we are essentially guessing at what we're going to accomplish during that time, and we want to make sure that your student is only being asked to do the work that we're actually going to complete in class. So it tends to be better to get that work when you return. You can just FYI us if there's a long absence coming up.
Our new curriculum is Big Ideas. And with Big Ideas, you can access that through the portal. With math, you will find the homework on Big Ideas. We tend to only use Big Ideas and not so much Schoology or any of the other resources. Homework is every night that your student will have a math class, so you can expect that to happen. We try to have homework time in class. However, with block schedule, they do have 2 days to complete the homework. Homework, like I said, is online, and in order to get that 3 out of 3 on homework, math is a little bit different. You need to have a showing work form, which means that your student just needs to show their thought process for their problems on a piece of paper. Any type of paper, I have some provided, but if they just want to use notebook paper, that is fine too. It needs to be on time with quality, and then that's the 3 points. The textbook can be checked out in the library if you want one. Every student has an online textbook, and we went over how to find that, so your student should be able to show you that as well. All of my notes will always be on your student's computer. As soon as they walk into the class, their computer will sync up with mine, and they will have access to all of my notes, and they should also have notes of their own. I do offer after-school help once a week until 3:30. Every week I will post on my board what day I'll be staying after school, and your student just needs to make sure that they have let me know that they're going to stay and that they have a ride to be picked up at 3:30, and they're more than welcome to stay to get some extra help. Students can also get help during Life Ed, which also has to do with every teacher, not just math. We allow the students to travel around to go and get that extra help during that time. We do allow makeups and retakes on our team. If you score below a 90%, again, this is not just math, this is all classes. Tests will be taken during Life Ed, and so that way your student is not missing any new content being asked of them in class. Again, you have to get below a 90% in order to retake, and they can just come and talk to their teacher to schedule a time to do that in Life Ed. The windows for retakes are only open for 2 weeks, so that's about 4 Life Ed periods that your student would have to come and retake.
So at Lakeview, we have obviously we're 1-to-1 and students have laptops. The charging must be done at home, and the district's recommendation, as well as our recommendation, is that those laptops are charged in a common area and not in the student's room. You can do whatever you wish on this. However, it is really important to know that some students really struggle having access to those in their rooms and can stay up late or do things that maybe we wouldn't necessarily approve of. And so it's really positive to be able to do that. If their laptops are not charged appropriately when they walk in, they will get a mark on their ROAR tracker, which is just a tracker that we use to kind of keep track of some behaviors and things like that. If your student ever runs into battery issues, we'll definitely work with you. On the Wildcats, you can pretty much expect that every communication that we need from you is either going to come through email or via our Team Wildcats website. The majority of our teachers use Schoology. I apologize, this says digits, but our math teacher uses Big Ideas. So those are really the two focus areas that we have in terms of technology. That's where you can expect things. And then in Infinite Campus, we really encourage you to register your parent account, and then again to set those reminders or those push notifications to only come about every week. That'll help you feel a little bit better and your student feel a little bit better, because when we are only seeing your student every other day, it'll take a little bit longer for grades and things to shift. So it's good to just get that updated about once a week. Your teachers also embrace technology. We use both Twitter and Instagram, and these are our handles. We also have a hashtag if you'd like to follow that again on Twitter or Instagram. It's LV Team Wildcats. So we love to do that, but we also expect students to be using their technology, just the computer, not any kind of social media. But we expect it to be used both in class and at home. We expect them to be problem solvers, creative thinkers, and responsible. And we'll be working on supporting those skills here. We would just ask that those skills be supported at home with you as well. For conferences this year, Team Wildcats does something that's a little unique and we hope is done only in a way that honors your student. On October 23rd, we are going to have what we consider celebration conferences. So these are our students who probably have a decently high GPA or very low behavior issues. These are also our students who seem like they've got a lot of things together and they don't really need an actual planning conference. At that point in time, students will lead it. There will be a series of activities that they take you and or a teacher through, and they're scheduled for only 10 minutes. There's lots of high fives, and then we encourage you to go visit their encore teachers. If your student has a conference that gets scheduled on October 24th, these are not like the good conferences and the bad conferences, but again, what we're trying to do is honor your student. So on the 24th, these are students who really need adults to be more involved in what's going on. And we consider these planning conferences. They're scheduled for 30 minutes. You get to visit guaranteed with 2 or more teachers, and everybody leads with a concrete plan for success. Again, we don't want any negative connotations on either one of these days. The goal is simply to make sure that we are providing what is needed for the students depending on their differences. Life Ed teachers will be contacting you via email with your conference information once we get to know your student a little better and know what they need. If you have any questions at that point in time, once your Life Ed teacher reaches out, you're more than welcome to email back or to call, and we'll make sure to talk through any concerns you have. This is one more plug for our t-shirt orders. We do have t-shirts that are being sold right now through August 30th. We will take care of distributing them at school. All payments are done online. Please, please, please comment with your student's last and first name. Not all names match, and that's okay. We want to honor who your family is, but it helps us to know who to give the t-shirts to. It's also possible to donate a t-shirt, and so you can see all of those instructions on our website. If you need to talk, please let us know. You're welcome to send us an email. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, it's best to reach out to your student's Life Ed teacher. And we hope that this was an informational presentation. We're sorry if we didn't get to meet you last night, and we'll look forward to being in contact with you and having an awesome year. Go Wildcats!